Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about majors. Probably one of the more important facets of the colleges that you'll be looking at when you make your college lists. So when we think about majors, a lot of students go into existential crisis because they're thinking about the rest of their life, their career, if they're going to be happy, where they're going to be living, all that good stuff. And we really want students to relax a little bit in the beginning, at least, think about multiple majors, think about general fields of study, think about if your school is going to be the type of school that's going to get you right into your major, or you can do a little exploration, whether it's through general education requirements or through a more open curriculum that you can kind of design your own pathway. But we're going to think about this in the most generic terms today. We're just going to talk about our list of majors here, which is about 100. It's like 90 something. This has been after years of looking at majors and really kind of finally distinguishing the differences between them. For example, we'll look at the difference between, communications interpersonal versus communications mass media. This is the old school major here, interpersonal, where it's about rhetoric, how people communicate, different genders, etc. Ever since the internet, mass media has been a more popular major, which is closely aligned with marketing and public relations. You really might not know that if you just click communication or communication. So we distinguish them. Computer science, computer engineering, very different. Environmental science, environmental studies. Studies is more social science, policy. Environmental science is more physical science and life science. So those will be different. Film production, film studies. There's all sorts of programs that have slight differences. What's another one? Yeah, criminal justice and criminology, for example. Criminology is the all you true crime junkies out there. You like criminology, which is using DNA evidence and blood splatter analysis to track down the criminal, whereas criminal justice is more about police reform, prison reform, etc., which obviously those are very different. So we want the students to have a clear understanding of what they are clicking, so they're not just getting the wrong search results for what they actually intended to get. That's one thing. The other thing is if I go online and, for example, criminology, and I just Google best undergraduate criminology programs, I'm going to see in those rankings, there are going to be a lot of schools that don't even have undergraduate criminology programs. For some reason, they mix in masters, they mix in minors. So it gets very confusing. You'll go to a website expecting to see this program there, and it doesn't exist. So what we've done is we've gone a little bit more deep diving. We go to each school's, if I close this down and I now do a search for criminology, I can bring up schools and then I might, go in and check out. So I'll go to Irvine, uh, dive into their department and program and oops, criminology, law, and society right there. So that is important because when you start to jump around, you are going to want to be landing in the right places and not wasting your time. Also, we've had students who didn't do their due diligence, apply to schools thinking that there was a finance program, and then they get accepted and they're like, oh, that only has business administration without even a finance concentration. So we try to encourage families to really understand what they're applying for. And let me show you a little bit more how to do that. So, for example, a student might be interested in business. So he or she is going to create different searches. They can go in and I'll say, like, I'll do one for, all right, so what has this person done? They did one for business administration plus their vibe tags. That means they picked let's make this bigger. So they did a, business administration, and then they went through and they did all their things that they think is important for them. We'll talk about this in another video, the vibe tags. But they went through, they did all that, and then they saved their search. Um, I'm going to do a new search now. So this person did business administration, entrepreneurship, finance, large marketing schools in the Southeast. I am going to, a lot of our students will also have like a secret fascination with like sports business. or real estate or something like that. So I'm going to do sports management, and I'm going to just make it, I'm going to say it's Northwest, Northeast, and then the Midwest. I'm going to save this as sports management, Northeast, Northwest, Midwest. Obviously, you can save things any way you want. And now I'm going to search these schools. Brings up, I will check out University of Michigan. And I can go down here. Sometimes these are in the most popular majors, and that goes directly to the site. Or I can just go to departments and programs. I can go to S, and that's sports management. And then I can check out all about that. If I want to get a little deeper, I can go to the course catalog, which we highly recommend to you guys, and go here, S, and then I can go to sport management, and I can actually look at all the courses they have here. I mean, some of these are going to be uh, abbreviated, so I might want to kind of click in and kind of see what the, business optimization in sport. And by going through all these, the students tend to kind of get a better understanding of what they're actually studying in those majors. Too often, students will kind of see a major and, physiology, and they'll just kind of have heard about it and they won't know what they're actually studying in that. Is that human physiology? Is it more like zoology? But by diving into different schools' majors, you will not only see what you will be taking in that major, what courses, which will teach you if you like that. I'll have students look at psychology and then they realize they're more into brain science or neuroscience because they want the more biological aspects of the brain and less the social science. So that comes from diving into the school's majors and really thinking about it. And also you'll realize, like, if I go to one school, say for example, uh, just history, and I'll just pick California, and these will just be history programs in California. I guarantee you, if I start looking at the different history programs, like Santa Cruz versus Berkeley versus Cal Poly, I'll see three different types of schools dealing with this major. Cal Poly is going to be more pre-professional. So it's going to almost be like outlined like a textbook and how they go through their courses. Santa Cruz feels more like their course titles come off the front page of the newspaper. They tend to be more dynamic. They tend to be a little bit more current event oriented, even if it is history. Berkeley will be like a combination of the two of them. So by looking at those programs, you get a better understanding of what they're about. By using your search function, you can really kind of store a lot of information here. So, oh yeah, I want to check out my entrepreneurship schools with my vibe tags, and then I can go check out all these. And then, of course, obviously, as you're looking at your majors, we're always recommending you go in and, if I'm going in here and say I find a program, say it's a business administration, you can always leave notes for yourself over here. Just again, using the Blue List to its greatest capacity to keep informing you and building your list in a way that you understand all your schools, you understand what majors you're applying to, and you understand the difference of these majors at different schools. And sometimes what's required to apply. Do they require extra essays? You can make all those kind of notes. Happy listing, everybody.